Connect AI is an SMS lead management platform that uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to communicate efficiently and effectively with your automotive leads and customers. Our mission is to deliver the most advanced conversational AI products and support to automotive retail. There are endless benefits to using AI and automated communication in your dealership, but there are key areas where Connect AI is the right solution to address pains within the automotive industry. With Connect AI, you now have the tools to acquire more, engage faster, and convert higher. For more information, visit us online at connect.ai. I'm Jill, and thanks for watching.
Here at Ascent Dealer Services, we have the best products. We have the best coaching platform. But most importantly, we have the best team. At Ascent Dealer Services, we're a team of like-minded individuals committed to growth. There's no one person on the team better than the other. We're equals. When one falls, we lift that person up. We are a powerhouse insurance brokerage firm that is working with some of the biggest dealer groups in the country, and we have some incredible OEM partnerships as well. And the reason for that is we are so committed to growth. Personal, professional, that's who we are, that's what we do, that's what we breathe is growth. So if you're a dealer and you want to grow your F&I department, I'm going to tell you how. There's 4 segments that we need to perfect. Transactional segment number 1, 2, sales segment, 3, relational, and 4, compliance. We've got to be really great from a transactional standpoint. You got to be really sound from a sales standpoint. You got to be able to overcome any type of objection that can come your way with ease. And from a relational standpoint, you've got to learn how to serve people within the 4 walls of your store. You've got to help people get what they want so then you can what? Get what you want. Here's what I found to be true. The golden rule I don't agree with. Treat others the way you would like to be treated. In sales, we need to treat others the way they want to be treated. How do we do that? Well, we have to understand human psychology, identifying personality types so we can serve. The 4th bucket is the compliance bucket. We make sure dealers are sound from a compliance standpoint. Transactional, sales, relational, compliance. We make it super simple at Ascent Dealer Services. If you want to absolutely dominate, I'm going to say this again. If you want to absolutely dominate in your F&I department, reach out to me personally. I'd love to have a conversation with you.
#1 automotive sales podcast. Broadcasting around the world. 100% positive mindset on making over $100K a year. You want to make more money and close more car deals while keeping a positive mindset. This is the show for you. Broadcasting around the world. This is the Automotive Architect Sales Podcast with Ron Garverick.
Welcome to another episode of the Automotive Architect Sales Podcast. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Season 4, Episode 1 is on its way. And I want to thank all those proud sponsors that have said, hey, we want to have something to do with this, you know. So Connect AI bridges the gap between tech tools and automotive communications. For over a decade, we've developed and continued to perfect our award-winning AI with texting platform to support retail and or service operations successfully, connecting with the customers at any phase in their journey. Also, a proud sponsor is VinQ, one login system source for everything. Hundreds of dealers have switched to VinQ recently because they offer tools and solutions that meet the challenges of today's market. Selling cars isn't magic, and it's never been less of an art. Today's market is powered by data, and your customers know it. To meet them where they are, you need to have smarter tools and smarter systems. We all know where the market is heading. Let us help you get there first. And also, another proud sponsor is bumper.com. What if you had a digital dashboard for your car ownership needs? A place where you can access up to date vehicle history reports, compare vehicles, shop for the rest or for the best auto insurance rates, get instant market value appraisals, and so much more. Whether you're shopping for a new car, comparing auto insurance policies, or looking to sell an existing vehicle, Bumper has you covered at every step of the way. Those are just a few of the sponsors for the Automotive Architect Sales Podcast that I'm proud to announce. This has been an interview I've been looking forward to, been waiting on doing, and we had some schedule uh, differences, but I am so glad to have Jason McQueen on the show today. Jason, how are you doing, my friend?
Thanks, Ron. Thanks for having me, sir.
Man, it's been a blast having you on. I've been following you for a while, seeing what you were doing, and
Right.
when I said, "Hey, I'm about to start the automotive architect,"
I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah, I think it's just a little frozen, a little technical difficulty.
there we go. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I was looking at my Wi-Fi, and I was like, I have 4 bars. What's going on?
Right,
Why are
right,
we
right.
spinning all of a sudden? But
No, you're
if
good. You're good.
we have technical difficulties. I want to apologize to everybody because you deserve all the attention on this episode because you've done a lot of things, haven't you?
I have. Yeah, I've done a lot of things. Just more specifically, yeah, in the automotive, I've pretty much covered just about every rank except the GM level. But yeah, I've had the privilege um, to cover some titles. Yes.
So, just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you've done in the car industry, because
Sure.
you've done quite a lot as internet director,
Right.
finance manager, sales manager, and you spent a short time as a GSM. But
Right.
explain what your niche are.
My niche is people. I really believe in the people, and that's not to sound cliche. That's a true story, right? I just read something the other day. It was a good reminder. People say go out and build a business. Well, you got to build your people first, right? If your people aren't the right people or they're not foundational, then nothing else is going to succeed. But of course, then you correct and the right leadership it needs to be in place to mold those people. So, but I really dig on building crews, putting the right personalities together, and watching them go. And you're going to get all levels of talent, but if you can get some high performers, people that are performing well, that usually causes other people to rise to the occasion. And you're going to have your bad apples, but I really dig on raising up good people.
Right. And you know, for so long in this industry, you hear people be called, people that are up higher up in a position at a dealership, they call
Right,
them managers.
right.
And in all reality, are they managers or should they be leaders?
Right. Is that the question? I just want to
Ye-
make sure I wasn't
yes,
cut
sir.
you off.
That's the
Okay.
question.
I want to make sure I cut you off. So, yeah, I definitely, in any business, but we'll say specifically the car business, we use the word leader. Your leadership is this is your leadership. Your internet director, your sales manager, your GSM, etc. Uh, I don't say I want to have a hard time with that, but to me, there is a separation between a true leader and a manager. A a leader is someone who is a vision caster, is someone that is saying, hey, This is where we need to go, ladies and gentlemen. And I believe this is how we can get there, and sharing their vision and be an example of that, being a servant of that. A manager is someone's going to take that vision, in my opinion, and they're going to help that vision come to fruition. Uh, in the blood, the guts, and the mire, if you will, with the sales crew. But you do find a really good leader can cross between the both. You don't always find a manager that can cross, but someone who has a leadership mantle or capabilities can cross between both. He or she can be a manager and or lead, but that manager really is. I've always wanted to say a manager is like a sergeant in the military, right? There's a lot put on their soldiers to put on them to motivate their soldiers and take them into battle and win, and because they're casting the vision of the leadership, the higher brass. So
And the more I think about it, when you're talking about the military, or when it comes to the military, they kind of manage people, but they act like leaders, right?
right,
They're managing their soldiers, make sure they don't do anything stupid, they don't
right,
cause anybody else to be a casualty.
right,
And if you mold that into the automotive industry, that's basically what managers do inside a dealership. But in all reality, they should be managing the car deal. They should be managing the paperwork. They should be managing making profit, and start becoming a leader. I
right,
think too many times they put individuals in a manager position and they're not really ready for it. I
great,
mean, they may have sold 20, 30, 40, 50, God knows how many cars,
right,
and somebody looks at them going, well, now we're desperate enough. We need to find somebody to put in that spot.
right.
But are they the kind of person that you want to lead the team to become better and make the store better?
Right,
And I've seen at plenty of dealerships, they're like, oh, yeah, he used to sell 20, 30 cars a month.
right,
And
right,
I'm like, why aren't you leaving him selling 20, 30, 40 cars a month? Well,
right,
I
right.
wanted to, whatever he was doing, I wanted him to get into upper management so he could show everybody else how to do it. But
Sure.
not everybody's a teacher. Not everybody's a
Right.
coach.
Agreed.
And I had to learn that when I when I was the number one salesman out of the auto group for 3 years in a row, and they're like, "Oh shit, we're going to put you as a GM
Right,
now."
right.
And I'm like,
What?
"These guys over here,
Right,
I make my money off of them. Oh crap!
right.
What do I do?" And then I had to say, you know what? What I need to do is start coaching them on
Mhm.
what I
Vapor locked a minute.
did and how I did it, so I bring more
So a little.
spinning. Oh, there we are.
There we go. Go.
I don't know what's wrong. I don't know if it's on my end or your end, but it's
Yeah,
on one of our ends.
it is. Mine's heavy. Mine's full. I'm full gas. Is what it's telling me.
Mine keeps
So
showing that I have full cast too, so I don't, and I know nobody upstairs using the Wi-Fi. So something about the Panhandle of Texas where Wi-Fi doesn't work very well. So
interesting. Interesting.
if you guys are listening to this and you're like, what happened? Just I hope you stay tuned and then you're like just giving
Yes.
it a little deal. But um it's afraid I'm afraid that too many people are getting into that position that don't belong in that position.
Mhm.
And when I was young, I was told, young in the business, I was
Mhm.
told by a gentleman, he goes, listen, The reason people go into management is because they couldn't sell cars. Well, I was like, well, then I don't want to get into management then
Right,
because
right,
I
right,
sell a
right.
lot of
Well,
cars. And but it's not true. At the time, I thought it was true, but the more I look at it now, yeah, I wanted to promote a guy into finance, and I was talking to the owner about it, and he goes, "Why would we move him? He sold 25 cars last month." I
hmm
go, "Well, A, he knows how to close deals. B, he worked with me before at another dealership,
sure.
and when I was busy and our finance manager had a heart attack and I needed him to step in, and especially with the Hispanic customers, go
Yeah,
in there and close deals and sell F&I products."
sure.
And he was like, "Well, I really don't want to put him in that spot." So I basically told him, "Hey, don't sell so many cars and I can get you into finance." But he's killing it in finance now, but he
That's
sold a
cool.
lot of good cars.
Right.
So why do you think, besides what I said, do you think that GMs or GSMs or owners put individuals in a position that they're really not capable of succeeding what the owner or GM is looking for?
Yeah, that's a heck of a question because I've seen like what you were talking about before. Just what the heck? It's almost like, hey, come here. I'm gonna put you. Hey, come here. I need a spot filled. I think it's lack of. I think it's two things. I think it's being lazy. I
Mhm.
think lazy is a part of it, and lack of patience. Rather than saying, hey, putting some of the burden on the existing management until you can find the right guy or gal. Because, like you said, just because someone sells 20 plus cars a month doesn't make them management or leadership material. And I've had people in the past tell me, no, I don't want to go that level. Not yet. I want to stay selling cars. Great, because I think you could do more damage taking them out from selling them cars. And now they're frustrated and they really don't want to learn this position because they appreciate the one they're in. But yeah, I think it's patience and just being lazy rather than just being patient and waiting for doing some interviews, talking to some of your people within the ranks. You might be surprised on those that would actually do well in management, or this industry is a lot of people know a lot of people. So it's, hey, I know this guy or gal down the road. They might be a good fit for us. Let's get them in here and talk to them, rather than just saying, oh, let's promote them because okay, so maybe they can do the job, but are they the best fit, right? Are they the best? Are they the best groove? Are they going to gel? Are they right for the culture, right? Will people follow them? So because you have a guy or gal that sells 20 plus cars a month, but no one likes them, right?
Right.
Either A, they're arrogant, or B, they just don't like it because they're good. And so, how are you going to get a crew to follow them when all of a sudden they're managers? So that could be more detrimental than not. So,
And you mentioned just on it, just real quick.
sure.
Um, what I like to express when I'm in dealerships and I'm talking to dealers and we're talking about the leadership deal, I always like to go back on the 5 levels of leadership of the John C. Maxwell books.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about
Oh, great.
maximizing the full potential,
Sure.
and one of them is position. And most of the time, that's what you see out of our managers. They're position leaders,
Mm,
and it's at the beginning level of leadership and based on the title or position one holds within an organization. But
sure.
people follow because they have to.
Right. 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 Yeah.
The authority granted to the leader by the position, but in all reality, that's the lowest level of leadership that does not necessarily inspire loyalty or commitment from the followers. And I see plenty of
Good
people.
point.
I'm like,
Yeah.
nobody's following him
Right. Right.
because they want
Right.
to.
Right.
And it just hurts the dealership if you can't have people like that. Now we know there's position, permission, production, people development, and pinnacle. And pinnacle is the highest of the leadership. And the reason people start following the pinnacle, the highest one, because they influence people.
Right.
These leaders have a level
Good
of
word. Yeah.
profound impact on others, and their
Right.
legacy lasts beyond their time in a specific role. They're
Right.
respected and admired for their contributions to the field, to the dealership, to the organization, and their influence reaches a wider audience. And they're with those other three levels, most of them never get past the position.
Right. Agreed.
And
Agreed.
how am I supposed to follow if you can't lead? But and what I don't like about leaders or managers, you got some of those individuals that are hungry and they can make good leaders, the salesmen that can make good leaders, but they look down upon because, the whole saying goes, leaders don't make followers, they make other leaders.
Hmm.
But it seems in some organizations in the automotive industry, they don't want to make other leaders because they don't want someone to take their position.
That's right. Yeah. Agreed.
So how do we stop that?
Wow. That's a heck of a point. I think that's a heck of a project. I think it starts from the top, right? Um, into your ownership. The ownership has got to be that leader as well, in my opinion. They have got to be, they have to have their hand on every pulse, but they have to be able to, it has to come from the top. It has to come down, filter from the top into your GM, GSM levels, and create a vision and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to get there. It may be some pain. We may be lacking some people for a while, but we need to get there. That's a must. Rather than saying, I got mine, so I'm going to hold on to mine. The leader, not the manager, the leader should be reaching down and pulling up the next guy or gal and training them for their next position, for
Absolutely agree.
whatever. That's where the success comes. But yeah, because I mean, as an internet director, I remember one time I just said, "Hey, we need more females because people have asked for them. We need the balance." We had one amongst a 20-person crew, and we were just out of balance. And so I told the GM, I'm going to go after women. And so eventually, before I left, we were about 40% females, and they did really well balanced. Sometimes better salesmen, customers preferred them, but it was a vision that even if I cast it, but my GM's not behind it, then it may not have succeeded, right? I let the other managers know, hey, this is what we're really going to go after. We want to try to get some good females in here. If we see a good male, of course, grab them, but we need some good females in here. So to balance this out and for our customers and et cetera. So, but yeah, I think it's really got to start from the top, sir. It's got to come down from the top, filter into your higher management.
And I'm glad you said something about females because sometimes most dealerships they don't have any females up
Right.
in that management level, that
Mhm.
leadership level. But there's a lot of that I've seen lately powerhouses that are out there. For an example, a little lady named Janie Andrews.
Mhm.
She is going to be on the show sometime soon. Now, Erica Tiffany, if everybody knows who Erica Tiffany is, she used to work for Volkswagen of Marion. Now she's doing bigger and better things, and she is hotter than ever. She posted on her Facebook with driving with Janie is only pointing at the bottom row because she already filled up the top row.
Mm.
61 units in the month of May. This
Jeez.
ain't a fluke month because she knows who she is. She continuously shows month after month for the past few years, all while she's an incredible mom. So proud of you. Janie is killing it in the auto sales.
Yeah.
People think guys are the only ones, men are the only ones that can sell cars. You know what? It doesn't matter if you're male, female, white, black, Asian, Hispanic.
Mhm.
I can guarantee if someone goes, I want to know how you do it, Janie, I guarantee she will say, I'm not in the transactional business, I'm in the relationship
Right.
business.
Amen. I agree.
This young lady keeps continuing doing what she's doing. There's going to be a leader that's going to see it and say, I love what you're doing. I know you're killing it. Can you teach everybody else to do what you're doing? I'd
Right.
love to give you a position in the management level and continue to coach and train everybody on what your formula is.
Mhm.
And the thing is, maybe she can, maybe she can't. Maybe she knows
Right.
how to do it because it's all in her head and it's repetitious.
Sure.
But if she knows how to coach it, knows how to teach it, and knows how to share, and people start filtering off her and mirroring off of her success,
Right.
but other people, there's some of the old school dogs are still in the
Yes,
in
they
the
are.
dealership. They're
Yeah, that's
still owning, the dealerships,
mhm.
and they don't want females in. They don't want to have anything to do with them.
That's right.
Or if they do, they're eye candy, and
Right.
they can sell cars and
Mhm.
make the store money. But anything else above that, it's
Right.
dumb. It's like 1920s again.
Boys Club. Yep.
We don't want you to vote. We don't
Right.
want you to have any decision inside. What do you know about selling cars? What do you know
Right.
about managing a dealership? What do you know about managing a department? But the last owner I had, he said if he had the opportunity and had 7 females that were awesome, he would
Mhm.
rather have 7 females in every management position than men
Yeah.
because of how, having not just having that mother figure, or you know what I mean,
Sure.
but having that discipline, because it's been said before, the scientific has been said before that women mature a lot quicker than
Yep.
men do,
Yep. True story.
and they would probably have a better opportunity, especially in the F&I department.
Oh yeah.
They would kill it on selling and merchandise.
Mhm.
And and talking about selling for F&I, there's a young lady up in Philly area that's killing it selling F&I products
Mm.
to dealers because of not only her looks but her personality and her charisma.
Mhm.
So I believe females need to
Mm.
be more involved in the management leadership. And we had a few uh, at our dealership. They came and gone, and we wished we had them, but don't look at them like, oh gosh, what do you know? Have you ever sold a car before?
Oh
Da
yeah,
da da
not
da
that.
da.
Yeah. Right.
But what is your feeling on having more females inside the leadership roles?
Oh yeah, again, I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon and say yes, most definitely, to create a balance. We guys are we're just so far left brained, right? Everything we do is left brained. Versus the women have the ability to use both sides, and they can usually be a little more sympathetic to people's situations, and they're non-threatening. I don't mean that I mean that in a very positive way. Usually, a male, I know with myself, I've had to learn to with my voice and my actions, I've had to learn to not be try to come across too rough. Smile, laugh a lot, etc. Versus women are seeing them in action, right? They be able to diffuse situations. Like I said, your lady referenced an F and I. Sheesh, I've seen them. They just crush it. They just do really well. Soft voice, especially when you're coming out of that whole the ether, if you will, coming out of the buying the car, you're trying to get things done, and you got that voice, that quiet voice in front of you, yeah, right. It just kind of helps out the situation, and you sell F&I products. So no, I definitely think that more dealerships need to get rid of this, the good old boy, and allow the right females. Not everyone's right, not every male's right, but get the right females, and it creates a really good balance amongst them all. And and just straight from a PR standpoint, it's fantastic, right?
Oh,
We're into 2023, so come on,
100%.
yeah,
And it's just we got to get that mentality that all people are created equal.
hmm
Everybody, there's some females that I see out there that know a little bit more than the men do about serving people,
sure,
hugging on
right.
people.
They're the best. Yeah, agree,
And
agreed.
because men have this whole idea of being macho, and
hmm
but when you look at a car salesman, you're thinking about the 1980s and how shisty they were. They were liars,
right.
cheaters, manipulators, crooks, womanizers, drug addicts. But nowadays, if you look like that, you won't sell a car because nobody can trust you.
Right.
But with
Right.
that being a female and knowing that you're a mom or you're a grandmother
Hmm.
and knowing, hey, I got soccer practice at 4, I got to do this, do that, people are going to be more relatable.
Of course.
They're going to, you know what it means
Sure.
to work and be the breadwinner and be able to manage both because
Right.
sometimes men can't manage work and home,
Right. Right.
but women can, and that's what I enjoy the most to watch. And I got a salesman, female salesman that I train and coach, and she juggles both phenomenally
Mm,
on top of all the personal issues she's got thrown in her life. But
mm,
she shuts it off as soon as she walks through that door,
right.
puts on a smile, and sells 15 to 20 cars a month
Good
and
on
does
her.
a video right after the delivery with the customer
That's
in
great.
a wonderful mood. And you would never know
Right.
what's going on in her life.
Right.
And I think, you know, most dealerships need to look into that and say, who in our dealership has a motherly character that we can move up so
Hmm.
she could be the mother of the leadership role
Right. Right.
and whatnot. So I really enjoy seeing women moving up into this industry that was a man industry for so long
Right.
and
Agreed.
given the opportunity to actually become a leader and do what
Hmm.
they need to do. And so it's phenomenal to see that happen.
Agreed. Totally agreed.
And so we're going to take a short break real quick. We're going
Okay.
to have some of our sponsors
Definitely.
pay for this show. So we'll be
Right.
right back. We are back on the Automotive Architect Sales Podcast. Thank you for listening. We are not done yet. We still have some good more information from Mr. Jason McQueen. But I want to just to let you know that this episode is brought to you by the Automotive Architect Academy, the fastest growing training company in the automotive industry, providing the tools and blueprints for each department so they can maximize their gross profits inside their store. BDC Finance and Management Training. Check out www.theautomotivearchitect.com. Set up a time and talk to me, Ron, or my staff, and we can see what we can do for you today. Also, Ascent Dealer Services. Their company was built on the foundation of servant leadership. They will continue to serve their dealers, F&I managers, and employees and their communities. They are on a bold mission to help as many dealers maximize their F&I departments as possible. Dealer or Ascent Dealer Services is the fastest growing F&I provider in the industry. So check out Dealer Ascent Services. Talk to Adam and Paul, and they'll get you set up to bring gross profits inside your store. They coach, they train, and they also sell F&I products. That's Ascent Dealer Services. So we're back with Jason McQueen. Now, Jason,
Yes.
you got your own podcast, right?
I did. I'm looking to revamp. Yes.
Okay, great.
Hmm.
Go ahead, plug it in, and let people know what it's called and how they can find it.
Well, my original was All Things Good. There's probably 10 sitting out there. I'm actually looking to get back on the radio for an hour show
Oh wow.
from a station up in Fort Collins, KRFC. It's the local college station. But they're
Okay.
doing great things. My son and I did a couple of shows, music, 2 hours of music, theme music, 70s, 80s, 90s,
Oh
that
wow.
type of
Okay.
stuff. And his schedule just got too crazy. And he was the software guru and cutting and editing. And so we kind of had to step back for a while. But I'm working toward getting back on the radio again. So radio show slash podcast, another one as well. So
Awesome. Awesome.
um, yeah,
That is a good thing. So you have a radio background.
yeah, a little bit, probably more volunteer stuff than
Uh-huh.
anything professional or paid.
Right. Right. You know, when I,
Right.
when I was in high school, I was the board operator for all the basketball and
Oh yeah,
football and rest.
yeah.
And then on Saturdays they had the Metro uh, Opera that I had
Okay.
to do the board and plug in the commercials and do all
Oh,
that,
that's cool.
and
That's cool.
do the weather on the weekends because the program director didn't want to come in and do his part. So I was
Lazy.
intrigued in being in radio
Right.
because I had a guy that I would always listen to on a country station. It was cyber tasked through all the radio stations in the world or in the United
Sure.
States, and Chris Kahn, which is he goes by the Con Man, was phenomenal. Had his own radio show at night, and he killed it. And I was like, man, I want to be like the Con Man because he plugged in funny bits and
Sure.
and
Right.
did stuff
Right.
like that.
All that cool
And
stuff.
so that's what I want to do. So I got hooked up with a radio station making $900 a month in 1998
Right. Right.
at a little radio station in Dumas, Texas. And I thought, man, if I could do what the con man is doing, then someone's going to pick me up, and then they're going to
Right.
want me to be all over the United
Right.
States.
Right.
And I come to find out there wasn't any money in radio.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
mean, $900. I was like, I'll take whatever. I just want to be on the air.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
And
Just hear your voice. Right.
yeah,
Right.
and then further on, you know, 10 years later, I became a general manager of a at a
Oh, that's
radio
fun.
station,
Right. Right.
and it was a talk radio station.
Okay.
And I wasn't in the talk radio. I wasn't in the podcast. I wasn't in any of that
Music.
kind of stuff. I
Right.
wanted to
Right.
hear country, rock, contemporary,
Sure.
40 top 10, and oldies or whatever.
Right.
And I had to manage a talk radio with
Wow.
Laura Ingraham and Dave Ramsey and
Oh
Eddie
yeah.
Vedder and all them,
Oh yeah.
Rush Limbaugh, and so it's more like, okay, getting into it. Now I'm doing podcasts,
Right.
and I'm like, there's there's a there's a car automotive whatever station, not a station, but program that's based out of Fort Worth, Texas. It's called the John Wolf Show, and he does givemethevin.com.
Hmm.
People call in and say, "Hey, I got this vehicle and it's has X amount of miles and it's in this condition." He goes, "Okay, okay, go into givemethevin.com and put in the VIN number, the miles, and I'll give you a quote real quick." But then I was thinking, there's so many dealerships out there. There's so many dealerships in every city, every town. Wouldn't it be nice to do an automotive show on the radio,
Sure.
or at least get on, Sirius XM
Right. Right.
and just talk to people? Because not, I talk to some people and I'm like, hey, my podcast is on all your favorite podcast platforms.
Right.
They're
Right.
like, yeah, I don't listen to podcasts, or I don't have anyway, I don't have Spotify, I don't have iHeartRadio, I don't have
Right.
Pandora, and you're like, but you listen to the radio, and they're like, absolutely. And I'm like, what, do you listen to FM? And they don't. No, I got it stuck on Sirius XM. I'm like, if there was a show on Sirius XM for car dealers, so when they're driving down the road and they flip through Fox News and they don't want to hear the politics, they flip
Hmm.
on to the Automotive Architect Sales Podcast, and they'll gather some nuggets when they go home.
Sure.
And if you
Sure.
got plenty of episodes, then you could just continuously run those every 8 hours
Sure.
like they do every song that you are
Right.
annoyed by.
Right.
in the
Right.
dealership.
Right. Right.
Like, didn't I just hear this song 8 hours ago? Why am I hearing "Baby Hit Me One More Time" by Britney?
Right.
I
Right.
just don't
Right.
get it.
Right. Right.
But it's good to have that kind of background, and it's educational. And I learned a lot in radio when I came into doing the podcast because you have to be entertaining.
Mm.
You have to have, like in my case, sponsorship.
Right.
People that want to advertise because they want to reach out to the listener. And the thing was, I've been doing this for 3 years, and I've never asked or accepted a podcast or a sponsor due to the fact I wasn't at the level that I could say, "Would you like to sponsor my show?"
Right. Sure.
But when Spotify says, "Hey, you're in the top 10 of automotive podcasts, and you're in the top 20 on Yelp Magazine and FeedSpot," now I'm willing to accept
Some leverage.
sponsorship or ask
Yeah.
for it
Right.
because now I know I'm getting the listenership.
Right.
And it's all because of plugging yourself out there and letting people know who you are, what you do, and what your common goal is, and it's to help serve others.
Sure.
Now, helping serve others, you were talking about being an internet director.
Yes.
So you serve customers over phone calls,
Mm-hmm.
selling the appointment. That's all you hear.
Mm.
Sell the appointment, sell the
Sell the
appointment.
appointment. Right.
But
Right.
then you got people that live in Dallas and they're interested in the car that you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And they are looking at other websites while they're looking at that one trying to
Of
find the
course.
best deal.
Yes, they
Give me
are.
the best deal, let me know what you got, and we'll go on from there.
Right. Right.
So you hand out the internet lead, you tell this salesman, "Hey, we got this guy in Dallas, he's actually looking at this Hellcat, I need you to go and work some numbers on it."
Mm-hmm.
So they go to the desk and say, "Hey, new car manager, I got a guy, he's wanting to work numbers on this vehicle. Is he here?" "No." "Where's he at?"
Right.
"He's in Dallas." "Well, tell him his presence is his leverage. If he drives that 8 hours to come up here,
Yeah.
we'll give him a hell of a deal." Now,
Right.
as an internet director, did you ever pencil deals in the internet department to get that sense of urgency? Because that person is just nowadays, internet is your new showroom, and
Right.
you're serving
Oh
others.
yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
what is your belief on that?
Yeah. So just to answer that question, I mean, 60 plus, maybe more of your business comes from people getting online, right? We're an Amazon.com world, and people want instant gratification, but they want it over the internet now. But yeah, on a scenario like that, yeah, when we've had a sales manager tell someone, well, their presence is their leverage, right? Uh, and if the salesperson is not bold enough to say, yeah, but they're in Texas, and the only way I win this battle is we kind of have to do this virtually. And so hopefully the personality and maybe we're competing against two other people, two other dealerships because you're always competing. Maybe it's the salesman that's going to get that person to fly in once we've hopefully done some preliminary stuff before they get there. But yeah, I've had some over my experience, some sales managers that are just like, well, if they're not here, I don't tell you. So to answer your question, I'm like, you know what? We try to start it that way through the sales, but yeah, I'll turn around and I pencil the deal.
Right.
Yes, if whether it was a lease or a straight purchase or anything like that. But yeah, I'll say, okay, that did it. I'll just pencil the deal and let's just get because we know that unless we can give them something, they're not coming in. So we got to give them something to get here, and hopefully, tap dancing customer service is going to do it, and they'll know that we were honest and transparent from the very beginning, and we're trying to hide anything. Yeah, when you do the game of hey, when you get here, you're going to lose a customer, especially I mean even if they're down the street sometimes, but especially if they're in Texas. I mean logically, I'd be like, wait a minute, so I don't know anything until I get there, and I have to get a plane ticket, or I'm gonna spend time on the road. No, I'm just not in it.
I'd rather do everything. If I was a salesman and I got handed an internet lead and said this
Mhm,
customer's interested in this vehicle,
mhm.
I would try to work
Everything.
everything
That's right.
before the customer comes in.
Right. Agreed.
"Hey, let's get you approved on this vehicle, and once you're approved and you agree to numbers, you don't have to sign anything yet. You ain't got to commit to anything yet.
Right.
Once you come in, the process is going to be easy. So you don't have to be at the dealership for
That's
4 or
right.
5 hours.
That's right.
You come in, you test drive the car. If it's something that fits your needs and solves your problem and it fits around your monthly budget, I'll guide you into the F&I department. You can sign
Hmm.
your paperwork. By the time you get out, there's going to be a tag on it, full with gas,
That's right.
and wash and detail, and you'll be ready to rock and roll.
That's right.
So many people want to wait for that. Oh, I got an appointment at 2:15. Well, I'll just wait for them to come in,
Right.
and then
Wait, hurry up
spend
and
4 or 5 hours with them, and they may not close them because they're tired. They're like,
right.
oh,
Exactly. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hate coming to dealerships because it
Right.
takes forever.
Hmm.
You should have finished that at the first of the when as soon as you got that lead and you knew
Right.
that customer's coming in. Hey, let's get everything handled before you come in.
Right, right. True story. Which is really the internet. What the internet is designed to do is tackle a lot of that before people are walking in. That way it's more time at their end and less time at the dealership, and make it that smooth piece. So that way, when the survey comes out, which is another piece that they leverage you with, right? That way, when the
Yep.
survey comes out, it's 5 stars, 10 stars, depending on whatever brand you're selling. So most definitely, yeah. But to make the customer hurry up and wait and no, that's we don't live like that anymore.
It's a now business. Hurry
It
up, get them
is
in, get them
now.
out, get them going.
That's right. That's right.
But that are they here? No, this is the no. And I was doing it before COVID even happened.
Right. Right. Oh
And
yeah.
and now you got e-signing, and you can e-sign. Only thing in Texas you can e-sign for is your county of issuance and your title app.
Right.
But everything else has don't have to have a wet signature. So you can sell your F&I products. You
Hmm.
can uh, send via email the the signatures, just
Hmm.
like credit unions do. They
Right.
sign everything, boom, 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 and they're gone.
Right.
Or I'm not going to Amarillo. I just can't do it. But I want to buy that car. Let us send you the documents. You can sign them.
That's right.
Once everything is signed into us, we will schedule the vehicle to be delivered to you.
Right.
That's customer service. The days of your presence is your leverage
Yeah.
is out the window because
Right.
I can walk around a car dealership, see cars keep passing by, knowing those people live here,
Hmm.
and then all of a sudden you send an internet lead in, they're not coming in till they get numbers.
Right.
Okay.
Hmm.
And the old saying is, why talk about numbers if you don't like the car? It doesn't make any sense, right?
Right.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So you're like, absolutely, we'll get you some numbers. But we also know if you don't like the car, you won't take it home.
Right.
So I'll give
True.
you every number in the world. Then you come in, you test drive the car, you like it, you go into finance. Boom. You're not here but 15, 20 minutes. You're
Hmm.
out. And they're like, yeah, man, I got a basketball game to go to. I got my daughter's softball game. Hell, we're going to
Right.
Disney leaving tomorrow morning, so we need to
True.
get some rest.
Right. Life is busy.
So we have to adapt to our customers or somebody else will.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Very much so.
And
Very much
so
so.
you just got to be able to adapt, do what you need to do. When COVID was here, it was funny how many lenders were like, hey, we'll e-sign now. You should have been doing that before COVID
Agreed. Yeah.
when
The
we
technology
asked
was
about it.
there. That's right.
We asked about it, and you're like, no. I remember fighting with Volkswagen on getting e-signing before COVID happened. And
Mm.
then COVID happened. They called and said, "Yeah, we're thinking about going ahead and doing that." And I'm like,
Yeah.
we could have sold more cars before
Hmm.
COVID if you would have just had it already.
Right. Right. Right.
You get funded quicker.
Hmm.
You get your CITs are small because you get paid the next day
Right.
instead of sending paperwork off. There's programs. Reynolds was good for it. They they said you hit a little button and then it would tell you, "Yep, everything is clean in this deal. We'll go ahead and you can push it over. We'll fund you tomorrow morning."
Right.
And it's allocated. Everything's good. Everything looks good on it. Yeah, we'll pay you tomorrow.
Right.
But it's just funny how the dealers are waiting to adapt because the customers are asking for it.
Right.
But then the dealers have to wait for the vendors or the DMSs to go through their legal terms and their
Right.
lawyers and all this
Right.
and that. They should always be thinking one step ahead for the
Agreed.
future, especially with all this AI stuff coming out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The chat GPTs coming out, the AI's coming out, they'll tell you how to buy the car and where to get it. I mean, that's why I was mad the other day.
Mhm.
One of my wife's friends bought a car from Carvana.
Mm.
I'm like, I know you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that's in the car business. I didn't say me.
Right, right,
I could have directed you to the right person to buy a car, and they would have made it easy with e-signatures and
right,
deliver the car to you.
right.
The problem with Carvana, those cars are not recon.
Mm.
We put a 128-point inspection on their vehicles,
Right.
and when they ship them to you, if there's a problem with it within the first 30 days, we'll fix it because we should have done the proper recon on it. You go to
Sure.
Carvana and there's no recon, your vehicle breaks down. What do you do now?
Yeah. SOL.
So
Right.
we
Right.
got to start stepping ahead.
Right.
And the reason people go to Carvana and Zoom and all that because they don't want to deal with shady dealers. So they
Mhm.
go with this route and put a huge coin about this big in a little slot.
Right. Right.
When when we need to get back in the relation business.
I agree. I totally agree. Exactly.
So
I
I
agree.
don't- it's crazy on how we need to be more involved with our customers. So last but not least, I like talking about back in the day, back in the 80s or 60s, 70s, 80s, there was a thing called revenue over relationships. You make as much money as you can, sell some cars, and so what if your customer ever comes back? You got that one deal, you made a
Right.
10
Yeah.
pounder,
Right.
no relation.
Right.
And then they started learning, why don't we have customers?
Right.
Why is it so slow? Well, you didn't retain those customers back because they
Sure.
had a bad experience. They were coming back to trade their vehicle off, but they couldn't trade it off
Right.
because they were so far upside down. The interest rates were 24.99%, and that was the good
Right.
credit.
Right.
Then they started thinking, going, man, we need to get our customers back. What do we do? Well, we need to build relationships with them. So what they start doing, they start building relationships with the customers, giving invoice minus rebates, buying their customers back,
Hmm.
selling a lot of cars, but making very little money.
Right.
So business started being slow. There was no money coming in, or because of them giving it all away.
Hmm.
People were leaving, salesmen were quitting, managers were like, well, maybe I'll get into the real estate business, maybe I
Right.
can
Right.
make some money
Real estate.
there.
Right. Right. Right.
And nobody was making any money and everybody's quitting. But if we were in the relationship business with revenue, you can sell the same amount of cars or more, make money, make gross profit, and
Mhm.
love on your customers because we're selling out of value, not out of price. We're selling out of logic, not out of emotion. And we're
Mhm.
selling out of inspiration and not out of desperation. And last
Mhm.
but not least, we're selling out of being relational and
Mhm.
not transactional. And
Right.
that's where we have to stop.
Agreed.
So what are your
Agreed.
thoughts on that? I'm sorry.
Oh no, 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 no. I totally agree. Like Zig Ziglar says, if they'll like you, they'll listen to you.
Yep.
And they'll buy from you, and that's a relationship. It's not a rocket science concept, right? You have to build that relationship. People have to trust you, especially in these days especially with the internet. The internet exposed everything. The car industry is not hiding from invoices. It's not hiding from. It's out there. So
Yeah.
cut it out. Just cut it out and just have a relationship. And you should anyway. It's the right thing to do. Have a relationship with your customers because, like you said, retention. Right? You're like, great. I just crushed last year. 3 years later, no one's bringing the car back. You know what I mean? And you're out
Uh-huh.
there buying your customers back. Now you're going digging into your profits and your pockets. To buy these people back. So no, I totally agree. The relationship has to be part of the sale, and that again, you can have the right salespeople, but that leadership has to continually be pushing the issue, continually keeping that pressure on, that reminder of this is why we do what we do. Right? It's not transactional; it's relational. That's why we do it because it makes sense. a new person in the business, stay about 3 years. You have those people start to come back, your lease people or those people that want the new model, etc. You'll see it happen. It happens. You'll be able to watch it happen if you stay with it long enough or at the right dealership and the right leadership rather than the managers to get there. "Oh, I got my spot. You know, I'm not going to make phone calls. My little brag was, I mean, I made as many phone calls and sometimes emails as an internet director as one of my crew did, right? I believe I have to help them push that rock too, and it helps when a customer hears, this is so and so. I'm the manager, I'm the sales, I'm the GSM, I'm the internet director. You're important. That relationship is important to the next level.
100%.
And yeah, so it's not just it's not John, Dick, or Amy that are about it. I'm about it too. Your business is important to me. And is if you were here on Saturday, is there something I missed? I want to know what I can do if you haven't bought a car already. Because if there's something I can do, you better bet I'm going to get it done, right?
100%. Yeah.
You better bet I'm going to get it done. And so come on down and let's get this done. We'll make it real easy. I'll get you in the front at F&I, blah blah blah. The whole story. So yeah, bottom line, brother. Yeah, relation it's a must. And foolishness to think that they couldn't, that you had to get past that step, in the business decades ago. They just thinking you can rip people's heads off and decide that they're going to come back to you. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
Yeah.
Come
You can't.
on, man.
That
It's not
that
happening.
that is went out the way. I've had bad experience with car dealers. That's why I never wanted to be in the car business because I
Right,
knew
right,
how they treated me and how sell me all this F&I products, told me it
right,
was part of the deal, and said I could use it anywhere in the world. And then I'm 12 hours away needing the maintenance
right,
done,
right.
and they're like, "No, that's only for that dealership."
Yeah.
So in close,
Hmm.
all the information and be honest, be truthful. You
Agreed.
want the customers to keep coming back. You could spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in advertising, but we all know the best advertising out there is word of mouth. If you treat
Mm.
somebody good, they'll tell five people. You treat somebody bad, they'll tell 20.
That's
And
right.
that
Agreed.
five people, it grows. It's a pyramid. They'll
Hmm.
tell five more. Then you got 10. Then they'll tell 10 more. And they got 20 and 40, 80,
That's
and
right.
so on. But if you tell those 20, man, that can hurt your business. There's three types of people in the automotive industry. There's three types of businesses. There's the OEM business, the manufacturer.
Hmm.
There's the dealership business, and
Hmm.
there's your business. You
Hmm.
may work for that dealership, but they provide the inventory that you don't have to pay for. They
Right.
provide the utilities you don't have to pay for. They provide the building you don't have to pay for, and they provide the office supplies you don't have to pay for.
That's right.
All you got to do is your number one product you're selling out there is not the car,
Right.
it's yourself.
That's right.
And this is your business. It doesn't
Right.
matter if you're at ABC Motors or at ABC Chevrolet. You're in the Ron Auto business
Right.
because
Agreed.
people will come back and buy at that dealership because of you.
That's right.
What you did. People don't care what you say. People don't care what you do, but people care on how you make them feel.
Right. Agreed. Totally
And so
agreed.
it's
Yep.
it's it's not common. I mean, it's not rocket science. You do it, Edmund. Every day means every day. If it's up to me, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And
Hmm.
it's just very, very, very smart to do it that way. Jason, I had a joy having you on the show today,
Great.
my
I'm
friend.
glad. Good. It was a
It, it,
pleasure to be here.
it was about time for us to have it.
Right. Perfect time.
Perfect time. And I've had a pleasure meeting you, talking to you, and
As well.
hopefully we will develop a friendship
Yes.
and
That'd be great.
continue having you on the show. And so I
Relationship.
can get more of your expertise, but I don't want to take any more of your time
I
because
get
I
it.
know you're a busy, busy man.
That's okay. I appreciate you having me, sir.
No problem. I really do appreciate you guys. This episode was brought to you by several great sponsors on this show, like Dealer Elite. The founding members were invited or has invited some of the best and brightest in the industry to share their knowledge with one another. The goal to advance the automotive industry through collaborative effort. Ugh, trying to say that it just messes up. The the elite group of founding members pushed the site beyond the original vision by inviting friends, colleagues, and clients to join and share their ideas. VenQ, one login system source for everything. Hundreds of dealers have switched to VenQ recently because of they offer tools and solutions that meet the challenges of today's market. Selling cars isn't magic, and it's never been less of an art, but today's market is powered by data, and your customers know about it. To meet them where they are, you need to have smarter tools, smarter systems, and we all know where the market is heading. Let us help you with that first. That's VenQ. Connect AI. Connect AI bridges the gap between tech tools and automotive communications. For over a decade, we've developed and continued perfect award-winning AI and texting platform to support retail and service operations successfully connecting with customers at any phase in their journey. And also bumper.com. What if you had a digital dashboard for your car ownership needs? A place where you can access up-to-date vehicle history reports, compare vehicles, shop for the best auto insurance rates, get instant market value appraisal, and do so much more. Whether you're shopping for a new car, comparing auto insurance policies, or looking to sell an existing vehicle, Bumper has you covered every step of the way. Jason, man, thank you again. How can our folks reach you and want to connect with you on all social medias or on your podcast that's going to
Sure,
come out?
sure. You can find me. You find me social media wise. I'm on LinkedIn under Jason McQueen, like Steve or Lightning, depending on which generation you're from. And I'm on. You can find me on Facebook under Five Smooth. That's going to be my keynote speaking, my motivational stuff. So I'm out there. You should be able to trip right onto me. Yeah, most definitely.
Good deal. Good deal. Once again, thank you for being on the show, my friend.
Pleasure.
It was a pleasure. We need to talk soon.
Yes, look forward to it.
All right.
Connect AI is an SMS lead management platform that uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to communicate efficiently and effectively with your automotive leads and customers. Our mission is to deliver the most advanced conversational AI products and support to automotive retail. There are endless benefits to using AI and automated communication in your dealership, but there are key areas where Connect AI is the right solution to address pains within the automotive industry. With Connect AI, you now have the tools to acquire more, engage faster, and convert higher. For more information, visit us online at connect.ai. I'm Jill, and thanks for watching.